Welcome into the John M. Huntsman Center on the campus of the University of Utah. The side championship basketball tournament is always presented by Heidemann Associates, brought to you by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com. Over 300 supplements available on the website. Use the code UTAHMADE and get 30% off of your supplement order. Again, that's Utah Made, all one word. A Utah Made company, Utah Made products for Utah Made athletes. Our matchup today on the quarterfinal, we go to the other side of the bracket. It's the Lehi Pioneer Silverwolves. Dusty Lister, Dane Stewart, and Coach Rob Ross joining us. And Coach, you know this Riverton team really well. I don't want to bring up why, but you know them really, really well. What should we expect from this team led by Coach Skylar Wilson?
They are physical. They're strong, holding their position defensively, and all their guys are confident in the way that they play. None of them hesitate to take a shot, whether it's a big shot or at the end of the game. They're all real confident kids.
And Dan, we look at Lehi, and it comes down to one name, Cooper Lewis.
If you don't know who he is, you will soon. This young man can go from 35, 40, 45. Very talented scorer, and it all starts with him. It doesn't all end with him. He's got good balance around him, but Cooper Lewis, Lehi might go as far as Cooper takes him.
It certainly is. I've been on record saying that he's the most Dallin Hall-ish player since Dallin Hall in the state of Utah, because he's going to have to pull them along like a Pioneer did with the hand carts, for heaven's sakes, to make this thing work for Coach Quincy Lewis. Although they do have some very good players. Hawkins can get going. Grayson Brousseau's going to play well down low, but if Hawkins gets going early, that's where they hurt teams from out of state. Those teams from out of state, I did a couple of games at the Holiday Hoop Fest, and they thought, who are these guys? And all of a sudden, Easton Hawkins opened up with 8 points, and they're, what's going on? And then Cooper goes off to the second quarter. That's what Riverton has to deal with today, but they like to get up and down the floor and score. So we're set and ready to go here in game number 3 of the day. Again, strap in, this is going to be a lot of fun. Winner moves on to the semifinals on Wednesday. They'll take on the winner of Davis and Harriman. One side of the bracket's already decided, and now time for the other. As Cooper Lewis hands off to Bromley, and that's another guy. You lose track where Bromley is, that dude will light you up.
The kid's been a shooter since he was 6 years old. He's been taking long shots and making them since he was a young guy.
Bromley sends out to Cooper Lewis. Both of them had dreamed of being Lone Peak Knights, and with Quincy going to BYU and then taking over at Lehi, they end up at Lehi.
Big rebound there for Lehi. That's the thing about this Riverton group. They are very gritty, Coach.
That's the thing about Bromley as well from Lehi. He just does little things that you would consider little, but he makes plays that wins games, and he'll do it all game long.
This is my first time getting to see Riverton in person. Coach Skylar Wilson's been there for a very long time. Took over for Steve Galley. That doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but it was a long time ago. He took over for Steve Galley. Skylar Wilson, a former CEU Golden Eagle. I only remember because I watched him play when I was in high school. We'd go watch Skylar Wilson. And the free throw's good by Grayson Brousseau, the future Utah State Aggie tight end. And it's 2-0. We know we got a viewer in Fort Collins, as long as it's not in the middle of spring practice. And Jackson Brousseau is on the drive, a little flip, a little too strong from Caden Allred. Quickly down the floor. Gabe Cowens leaves that in for Brousseau. Brousseau blocked away by Henninger. He gets in the hands, Easton Hawkins, 4-3.
If he gets going, he can be a real problem. He's had multiple games of 30 points or more, and with he and Lewis, when they get going together, they're hard to handle.
Easton Hawkins ups our viewership in Calgary, Alberta area, as that shot is off the mark, tipped around, now taken, and on the run with Hawkins. Nice hands by Henninger, but Hawkins with it. A little fall-away shot. Crawls in. Good defense by Ben Barris, but it didn't matter.
Well, not the start Riverton wants. You go down 7-0 on a team that they don't go out and drop 70 points a game. They got to find a way to get some stops here, but more importantly, they got to get their offense going.
As that ball goes out of bounds, good chance to look at that last Hawkins bucket. You just tell your defender, hey, nothing you can do. Is that what you're telling him, Coach?
You know what? You tell him to get up on him and try to make him put the ball on the floor, because if he gets his feet set, it's going in most of the time.
Outside, here's Evan Barrett. Has back to Allred. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Get it inside. The shot won't fall for Zach Edwards. Oh, nice no-look pass into Grayson Brousseau. He misses the bunny.
The Edwards kid from Riverton's about as physical as kid as we played all year long. He goes at you hard every possession.
He looks like his brother.
Was his brother Bill?
His brother, a big boy. He's a baseball player at Oregon State.
Isn't that where he's going to play ball as well?
I think so.
I think he's going as a pitcher there next year.
Well, that's the thing about this Riverton team. You watch them, and they're just very tactical in how they approach the game, right? And it's really a credit to Coach Wilson, what he's built there. You know, you don't have a Richie Saunders-like player on the floor, but, man, they are just gritty. And every game, you know you're going to get a tough effort. You got to execute well.
Yeah, there's no one guy there. And there's Coop from deep.
Cooper misses on the three, and Edwards with the rebound. Got the ball ahead to Allred. Now Edwards come back this way, jackknife it up and in. What a pretty sequence for the Silverwolves. Of course, Riverton, I don't recall them winning a state championship in basketball. They lost in back-to-back years as Cooper rattles in one off the backboard. Coach Dane and I both say this is the hardest hoop to shoot on in this arena. And you better make hay if you're on this end of the floor.
Yeah, why is that?
We think it's because of the tunnels. There's a traveling violation. And the only reason I say that there is that Cooper's going to be dialed in, and he was so long on that shot. You wonder if that tunnel, it makes that hoop seem so close.
Yeah, if Lewis is banking him in, you're in trouble, because they're straight through. So if he's hitting bankers from out that deep, you're in trouble.
Bromley made the right play. Henninger made a better one. Allred on the run.
You see the effect of having a good big man in the post offensively. We saw that in the first quarterfinal of the day in 6A with Corner Canyon.
On the drive, you can terminate, fall away, maybe blocked by Cowens. Into the hands now of Bryson Bromley. Quickly ahead, Cowens to the rim and the dunk. Timeout, Skylar Wilson. What a start for Lehi, Coach.
That is not the way that Riverton wanted to start this ball game, I don't think. And Lehi's getting easy layups. I mean, transition buckets. They've had 2 of them now.
This is a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. I want to thank Utah Facial Plastics for jumping in with us here. They are the sponsor of our replay and also of our timeouts. Again, facial plastic stuff is about cosmetic surgery, so if there's cosmetic needs, they certainly can take care of that. But also, if you have deviated septums and things like that, you do need to get a rhinoplasty and have that taken care of, and they can help you out at Utah Facial Plastics. Also, hair restoration as well. And as I keep mentioning, I got rid of one of my little wisdom lines at the top of my forehead with some Botox. So Botox brought to you by Utah Facial Plastics.
You're looking good, Dusty. Whatever they did is working.
Yeah, amazing. I'm a great spokesperson. 801-960-3137. We'll call Utah Facial Plastics on multiple locations.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a play for 12 right here. Try to get him a shot.
A pirouette in the lane. We have a 3-second violation. So 3 seconds against the Silverwolves. Outside now, the 3 on the way from Hansen, in and out. And the rebound taken by Ben Barris. A slow start for the Silverwolves. Have to try to climb back into this one. Skip pass to Vaughn Johnson.
Yeah, Riverton seems just a little sped up right now.
Yeah.
Inside, Edwards blocked away by Hawkins.
Well, Lehi seems just quicker. I mean, even there, you get a triple team down low. That pass is a little delayed coming out, allows that defense to rotate over, get the block.
There's a lot of experience on the floor for Lehi. There's kids out there that have played in a lot of big games over their high school careers.
Well, and they got a good one on their sidelines. You know him well, Quincy Lewis. His father was your head basketball coach at Timpview.
I do know Quince. He was just a little guy running around our practices when we were in high school, and The Lewis family. I love the Lewis family. They're great people. We miss. I had a chance to see Coach Lewis when we played Lehi at our place this year, and hadn't seen him in a long time.
Quincy misses the three. They have a loose ball foul. This is going to go the other way. This one goes against Lehi. It'll be the third team foul on the Pioneers. How have you liked resetting the team fouls at the end of quarters?
I've liked it. I like it. It gives us a chance to be a little more aggressive. And the one thing I don't like about it is at the end of games, there's not quite as much pressure where you have to hit that 1-and-1. But I do like the fact that it resets and it lets you be a little bit more aggressive and you're not always on the free throw line early in the half.
As that shot won't drop, tipped back out of bounds off of, I believe, Lehi. And it is. And we'll stay here with Riverton. Dane and I have talked about it a lot because I think I like it because it reintroduces defense at the beginning of quarters.
Yeah.
Because you were a staff member of those teams with Dave and with Quincy too, where you guys had 5 or 6 fouls in the end of the first quarter all the time on those really good teams. And then that second quarter, especially you played Copper Hills in the state tournament, that Hawkins kid would have 50 points.
Yeah, you're right. We were so aggressive and teams were shooting 1-and-1 early. I like it a lot better now.
Well, Coach, maybe you should have just stopped fouling. I mean, gosh, come on.
Hey, we weren't fouling, Dane. I don't know what the rest were seeing, but we didn't think we were fouling.
Not that much. Oh, you got to mistime that one. So foul is going to put number 30, Von Johnson, at the line, the senior.
Yeah, I expect these shots to go in. He hit 4 huge free throws against us on Friday night. Pressure free throws. Just stepped up there and knocked them all in.
I want to double check something I said earlier, as that free throw is good. So now 4 points on the board for Riverton. And one thing you have to prepare against is that Cooper hasn't gotten going yet, and the avalanche will come.
Yeah, they come in bunches for him.
Send out to Hawkins. Hawkins gets inside the defenders, and traveling violation first. He kind of skipped. His feet didn't come down at the same time. He's having a little chat.
You even got a demo.
Yeah, it was 1-2. Got a brother that's left on his mission. Every time we see the Hawkins family, I was thinking about his dad, one of the good guys, and shockingly passed away a couple years ago.
You know, I didn't know him, and I don't know that family, but I've heard so much about him since that happened. It sounded like he was a great person.
His dad was awesome, and there's the foul on Hawkins, and Quincy didn't like it. But his father, we got to know him during that the COVID state tournament. I got to know him extremely well because he kept sending me every Canadian connection there was on the floor. Tyler was hilarious, and had a business too, and his wife Kim has had to move on, and she's great, absolutely terrific. But yeah, one of their sons just left on a mission,
and I've heard that they have some other younger brothers as well that are players. But
Peyton Hawkins is a junior on this team, and then you've had a bunch of them go through, and you kind of forget about Easton a little bit because of all the other ones that have come in and out of the Lehi program in the last few years.
It's tough because Easton, I think, has been a little bit overlooked just because how good Cooper is.
Yeah.
Easton is an excellent basketball player.
Yes, he is.
Averages 16 points a game.
Yeah.
And again, when you've got Cooper going for 30, it's easy to ignore that, but he is a really good basketball player.
You know, Easton had 31 against AF late in the season. You hardly heard about it because Cooper had 37.
Right. The rebound to Henninger off the missed 3 from Cy Hansen. Come back the other way. That 3 won't go, and Hawkins comes out the rebound. They wanted to foul on Henninger. And look, every other game, we've had 8 out of 10 games, has been very loosely called as Hawkins misses on the 3. But they haven't been calling all the little contact stuff you're used to, and I've actually really enjoyed it. We haven't had a lot of whistles.
You know, I have to give kudos to the referees for this entire year.
Push record. Someone push record.
I have been so impressed with how they've let guys play for the most part. Unless it affected a play, for the most part they don't call fouls, and it's, at least from my point of view, I've loved being able to play like that.
Cooper still yet to get one to drop, misses on that one. A chance to make it a 2-possession game, or probably a 4-point game. It is 2 possessions. It's a traveling violation as Evan Barrett got sped up and then turns that ball over, and then we'll go back to Lehi. And they're dodging some bullets, speaking of Riverton at the moment.
They are. Cooper, those are shots that Cooper normally hits.
He will in the second half.
Yeah. So here's a mystery for you guys. Do you guys know why 23 sometimes wears the number 32? He goes back and forth between 23 and 32. He was 32 Friday night. Now he's 23
really?
tonight. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't had to be, like I said, this is the first time I've got to see Riverton in person this year. Is Cy Hansen sends that ball back out. And half of it is that ball's out of bounds. And it's probably because they have multiple uniforms. Remember Mike Maxwell at Bountiful, half his roster changed depending on what color they wore.
Did they?
Oh, my mercy.
It was rough.
That would be hard to track.
They wore their reds, and if they decide to wear their blacks.
There were even duplicates and overlaps, and it was,
As we were scouting Riverton, we'd go 23, 32. We weren't sure who it would be, but it was the same kid, and he's a tough kid.
And I think I said earlier his brother, I think it's him because he's a 4-year starter in baseball. He's an absolute stud. If it's I don't know, he's Zach Edwards.
This kid I know has signed at Oregon State as a pitcher.
It's him. I just totally forgot that he wasn't a junior that year. As that ball does not go, loose ball to Hawkins. Now we'll have a loose ball foul on the floor. And that'll be just a second team foul on Riverton. So no free throws or anything. We'll take the ball at the baseline, and that'll be Riverton basketball to start the second quarter. As Lehi tried to get a look with 1.6 left. And nobody home.
Not what you want to do.
Now be baseline inbound. And Quincy Lewis did not appreciate that.
He did not. Like to know what he was saying over there.
No, he's saying, I'm trying to beat Craig Drury. We can't get his shot if we don't get there.
If he gets a state championship, does that beat Drury's record?
He does. They're tied.
Wow.
Inbound, shot on the way, in and out. And that will do it. At the end of one, it is Lehi 12 and Riverton 6. You are watching the 2024 6A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships. We'll be back with the second quarter after this. Welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, Coach Rob Ross with you. As always, we are brought to you by Heinemann Associates, but also our commentary this week brought to you by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com. Over 300 supplement options available on the website. Use the code UTAHMADE. You may not know the NutriCost is Utah company, and they want to take care of Utah-made athletes. As there is a 3, Coach, you said it earlier, they're in trouble and try to get 12 loose, and Caden Allred knocks down a 3.
That was painful, Dusty. That's the play they ran to beat us Friday night. That same play right there.
Cooper Lewis with his first 3.
Cooper Lewis.
But again, use the code UTAHMADE and get 30% off of your order at NutriCost.com. I use them. I use their BCAAs for amino acids and creatine, and also a little TMG trimethylglycine. As nice hands there by Bromley. Now got inside. Edwards was all by himself. Brousseau came over, and Edwards able to get that one to go. And Zach Edwards makes it a 4-point game again.
That's a great adjustment in the air. Bromley came over. I thought he was going to get that block. Or Brousseau, sorry.
You know what? I thought it was his older brothers, because when Edwards was a freshman, as Lewis goes right at him and scores, he looked like a senior. This kid was a freshman. I remember doing a softball game. The baseball game was going at the same time, and I saw this kid at a grand slam, and he looked like a major league player, and it was him.
He is big and strong.
And in their state championship run with Coach Applegate, he was huge, as there's a charge call on Vaughn Johnson. We're going to send the ball back to Lehi.
Number 30, Don Johnson, his second. Team foul number 1. And for the Silverwolves, number 50, Christian Hennig.
We're running all kinds of new programs this week, and Vince Francis does an amazing job. I give him a lot of guff, but I'm not going to compliment him on air. I'll wait till we're off.
Yeah, I'd never heard of this Microsoft or something like that.
Cooper off on the 3, and the rebound was taken out, tracked down by Edwards.
It's crazy. It doesn't feel like a 6-point game, does it?
It doesn't. It feels like Lehi is in complete control of this thing. And one thing you know about Riverton is they're going to score multiple games over 90 points this year.
Yeah, they haven't got it going either.
There's some nerves in the building when you first come in, especially they haven't been here for a minute. There's some nerves.
Yeah, you could. They're a little jumpy. They look a little sped up, but I think they'll get it going.
Easton Hawkins misses on the 3. Yeah, they got to keep it within striking distance, and all of a sudden they'll pick up the whole thing.
They got a couple kids, 1 and 5. I don't think either one of those guys have scored yet, and they're 2 leading scorers.
On the drive, the foul, going to put Evan Barrett at the line to shoot 2.
Reminiscent Preston Sanchez right there.
That
Little head
was.
move back to draw the call.
I keep missing time to that. Yeah, he had the hair that really helped, and so was Barrett.
Yeah.
Preston went to the Dixie campus at Utah Tech.
In for Riverton, number 34.
It was Dixie State then.
It was.
It was.
I'm a Rebel alumnus. I'm sad that they changed their name.
Thank you. Okay, so that's why I keep doing that.
I'm sad they changed their name.
Well, the funny thing is you keep the Dixie campus part. That's just what's so funny to me.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So 4 points.
It was a win-win.
Yeah, I guess. So much. Anyway, we'll stay out of that. We're going to keep us on air. Here goes Brousseau. Shake and bake, fall away in the lane. Goes home for Grayson Brousseau. Trying to find Papa Brousseau. I can always usually find him pretty quick.
With Henninger off the floor, I like Lehi going right inside of the big man, right? See if you can get Brousseau going.
Evan Barrett going to pull up. No good. And rebound to Hawkins. Bromley back up to Easton. Grayson goes at Edwards, and now the foul to Zach Edwards. Going to put the big man, Grayson Brousseau, at the line to shoot 2.
Is that Edwards' second?
Number 1.
That's good.
Yeah, they don't have the stat boards up today. It's a little frustrating.
Yeah, he's kind of the heart and soul of that Riverton team. He does a lot of things for them.
Grayson is the first. Mentioned Grayson going to Utah State, go play football. 2-time state champion Grayson Brousseau played with his brother Jackson, who's at Colorado State in the middle of spring practice, trying to find his way on the field as a quarterback. Going into his, I believe it's his sophomore year. I don't think or his freshman year. I don't think he burned his red shirt last year.
Does Grayson play quarterback as well, or
Grayson plays tight end.
Tight end.
As Edwards taps that one outside. Oh, what a play by Edwards. All red, 4-3. That's a fun sequence. I say by Edwards. And Allred buries the second triple of the quarter.
Kids, I think, got 47 threes on the year. He's hit a lot of 3-pointers.
Cooper draws the foul. Get a chance to look at that last 3.
Little zone look. You can see Lehi kind of running around, but more like, in the words of an NBA commentator, hands down, man down.
Former NBA commentator.
Oh, former?
He's not on the stat, no. And then they lost the guy they replaced him with. Down the lane, nobody picks up Cowan's. And Gabe Cowan goes down the lane and flushes it home.
He's another guy on that Lehi team that doesn't get a ton of recognition, but he's a really good defender. He rebounds really well, dives for loose balls. He does a lot of things that helps them win.
On the drive, shot won't fall for Barris. And it is Cowan with the rebound. And now Cooper Lewis is fouled by Caden Allred.
This thing is so tough. Lehi's bringing a lot of help defense on some of these drives. But when Riverton's kicked it out, it's like there's someone right there.
Yeah.
Lehi's defense just so quick.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of room to
They
take
rotate
advantage
really well.
of.
And Lehi likes to really pack it into the key. I mean, they're in the right spots defensively most of the time.
I think they have a head coach who's done this before.
Edwards with the steal. Brousseau on the chase. Hip gets the block and the foul. Oh, Grayson nearly wanted to make a highlight out of this one.
Yeah, that was almost a highlight both ways. He was going for a dunk, and Brousseau was not allowing it.
So I love the play by Edwards.
That's a nice step by Edwards, disrupting that.
Coach Freeland said, he plays football. Like, what are we doing? Edwards to the stripe. It's the first. It's fun to see big, strong athletes. And that's Edwards.
He is. And he plays that way too. He is physical and he does not back down to anyone. And he shoots it at 73% from the line, which is not bad.
So free throw's good. And it's a 5-point game. Hawkins sends out. Line drive 3 is good by Caleb Moore. Had no arch on that shot.
He shoots it quick too. He is not hesitant to shoot that 3. Does a good job with it.
Here's Allred. Gonna lob it. Along the baseline, taken away by Cooper Lewis. He's got Bromley. Cooper hangs and hits. Quickly back the other way. Allred with Cy Hansen back. Allred and one. Quincy saying, look, he stayed straight up. Let's take a look at it. He did jump.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with that is that you aren't really in a defensive position, right? You're in a retreating mode.
So do you think it's a foul?
I do.
I do too.
The way it's been explained to me, I think that's a foul.
See, and maybe that's the definition of the rule, but it just seems like to me he went straight up.
Because from the other side of the corner, it's like, so what do you want me to do? Just stand there and let him go?
Yeah,
You know,
so here's another look at it. Watch him just right at the end, because he loses verticality at that point, right?
Maybe he bumped him with his body down low too.
We always talk about this verticality. Once you go forward, back, or side to side, you lose verticality.
Yeah.
As Hawkins can't get that to go.
There's Bromley again, cleaning up the boards, diving on the floor.
Someone's got to be out.
Carrick's was right there, jump ball, and they'll stay here.
Why didn't someone call a timeout?
Yeah, right. Are you one of those guys? You start calling timeouts, they're going to be jump balls.
You know what? If there's a chance we're going to get the call, I do. Yes.
We had a complete. I mean, it drives me nuts, especially state tournament. You have a little tie up and have a coach, and one official give it. It's like, well, what are we doing?
Yeah, that. I don't think referees should give it. You're right, but coaches do it all the time.
Yeah, they do.
You're like, hey, not my fault.
Yeah.
I will say this because we do every one of your games. You and Jeff Gardner. Gardner is one of the fastest to that too.
Oh, Coach Gardner is a wizard when it comes to calling timeout. He is great at it.
He may have held the ball for a whole third quarter once in the championship game. That guy knows how to call timeouts fast.
I remember that game.
Yeah. Hammer and a nail quotes, one of my favorite quotes ever. Sometimes you're a hammer, sometimes you're a nail. We knew we were the nail.
I'd never
Down
heard
the
him
lane,
say that.
left it short, and he'll put Cooper Lewis at the line. As he'll have 2 free throws.
Yeah, and they're in the penalty from here on out too, which could hurt him.
Yeah, that's Henninger coming at him. I'm gonna have to look up the name, Dan. You know who that Henninger guy reminds me of? Thinking back to our first year doing all the games together.
Who do you play for?
Orem.
No.
You don't. I'll double check here. Orem had a big center. He was the only tall guy on their team. Remember, they said he was 7 feet tall. He had a big afro.
I don't remember.
Hurting my feelings here. See if we can find it.
I did have a great old school conversation about Judge over the weekend. Of course, Judge.
Jimmy Soto?
How about Judge winning the 3A state championship?
I didn't even know that. They won it.
They did.
They beat the 1, the 2, and the 3.
Oh, good for them.
Coach Kolovrak, congratulations, man. Awesome.
It's awesome.
Sanjin was we covered Sanjin when he was at Hillcrest. It's Henninger. He does throws it down. And it's a 7-point game, and they just got to hang around here. Speaking of Riverton, there's Cooper over Henninger.
You know, after we played them last time, I had one of our assistant coaches. Okay, I'll tell the truth. It was my son. He said Cooper Lewis might be one of the best high school basketball players I've seen because of the difficulty in the shots that he takes and makes. He makes really hard shots.
Oh, good ball.
And he does it consistently.
And he makes it look easy.
He does. He's a very unique basketball player. Very, very good.
Yeah, it was Jordan Butler. If you look up the all-time roster.
Jordan or Darren Butler?
Jordan Butler. This is at Orem. And they list him as a 7-footer. But the jerseys weren't big enough for him. As he pulls, speaking of Cooper, he's fouled on the 3. Skyler can't believe it. Gonna put Cooper at the line. Let's see, did he catch his hand?
This does not mesh.
Yeah, I think the ref got fooled on that one.
This does not mesh with some of the other games that we've seen over the course of last weekend.
Yeah.
But
be consistent with it.
Yep.
If we're gonna call it like this, we better call it like this down the stretch as Cooper hits the first. Yeah, they always talk about, remember, we've had explained to us by an official before, blue zone to red zone, right? It's blue, and as you get closer to the rim, it's red. Meaning we're not going to call it. It might be the other way around. It's red. We're not going to allow a lot of touching away from the hoop. Closer to the hoop, it's going to get blue. It's going to get cold, and we're going to allow contact and let you finish.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think the referees have done a great job almost this entire year, at least the games that we've been involved in letting the guys decide the games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even recall seeing you get a tech this year, Coach.
Well, I did get one, but
he did get one. I was there.
But it was against Lehi, actually.
Yeah. I don't recall seeing one.
Thank you, Dave.
You're making great progress.
I'm making great progress. Yeah, it's something I'm working on.
I made sure to get both the Quincy games this year. Those
were good games.
Those were. Now, granted, we had the double headers. I was like, all right, I'm not going to sign double headers. I'll take him. There's a nice feed inside, and there's I'm going to call out of bounds off of Lehi.
Wow. Hit the support.
Wow.
Let's see if I can get it back here. Officials are going to discuss this. Yeah, they're saying Cooper blocked it out of bounds. Yeah, this ball should stay here.
You can see the State Farm logo move.
It should stay here. It really should.
Yep.
Yep, good call. You can't give Cooper a block and then not call it out of bounds off of him. 3 on the way, short. Cooper may got a piece of that. Did not hit the rim. Shot clock still running at 25. All red.
Bromley's crawling into him.
Oh, Quincy's still into it. A little one-footer. They're calling that a 2. I thought that was a 3.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Evan Barrett with a little runner. I feel like we're back watching Hoosiers.
He's had a really good year.
15 seconds. And back to Cooper Lewis. Down to 10. Now Bromley. Barrett right there in his hip pocket. Got it back over to Cooper. Cooper on the baseline finds Cowan. Cowan inside, left it short. Rebound to Riverton, and that will do it for the first half. We're 2 quarters in, and it's an 8-point game. Lehi leads 35-27 on Riverton. You're watching the 2024 6A State Championship Basketball Tournament presented by Heidemann Associates, brought to you by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com, use the code UTAHMADE, get 30% off your order when you use the code UTAHMADE. We'll be back with the halftime performances after this. Welcome back into the John M. Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and the coach Rob Ross with you. Before we get to your thoughts, Coach, let's go to our Handles Ice Cream trivia question of the game. Lehi won the first state basketball title in 1908. Who won the second? Riverton was not in existence then, so
I know Jordan.
It could have been Jordan. I know it wasn't Carbon.
It wasn't Carbon. I'll tell you that right now.
I know it's not. I know we have like 6 banners at Carbon High School. I know each and every one of them. But hit us up on Twitter. On X. Zeet us at KSL Sports Rewind. Go to Instagram and IG us there. And the first person who answers correctly, you'll get a $10 gift card to Handles, redeemable at the 114th South, Fort Union, and Ogden locations. Coach, coming out of halftime, if you are Riverton, what are the changes you think you would make if you were Skylar Wilson?
I think if I was Coach Wilson, I'd just say, guys, we just got to go out and do what we do. Calm down. Don't be sped up. They're a little bit hurried, and if they'll just calm down and play the way that they have all year, they can get back in this game.
And Dan, if you're Quincy Lewis, I mean, what keeps going?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, you could argue Lehi did not play a very good first half, right? It's, hey, guys, settle down, right? And let's really relied on their defense. I thought their defense played really well, but neither team shot above 45%. And so, hey, let's get back, work the ball inside, get that ball moving around a little bit, see if you can get guys to the rim, try to get some easy looks in this second half.
As that one gets knocked away, picked up by Lehi, and there's Hawkins. He is the last of the Tyler and Kim Hawkins clan to go through Lehi. The Hawkins on the roster, shockingly, is not. We have this a lot lately. So many people with the exact same last name who are not related. And not like it's the same spelling. So, anyway, foul on the floor.
Game been relatively balanced. Both teams 9 for 9 from the line.
Wow.
Both teams 14 rebounds. There was just a couple extra threes for Lehi.
Brousseau and Henninger didn't get the bucket. The rebound taken by Riverton. Mentioned those fun teams when Dane and I first started doing games. Riverton went back-to-back state title games, 06 and 07, with Morgan Grimm. As on the drive, Edwards takes a big bump, no call. And the loose ball picked up by Hawkins. Lob in to Grayson. He saves it into the hands of Ben Barris. There's Allred. He had 2 threes in the second quarter. Barris from way outside and short. And the board goes out of bounds. But back down the floor, Lehi.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say he hasn't got it going yet. He's very capable of making shots. He just hasn't got it going yet.
Yeah, 0 for 7 for Ben Barris in that first half. Dusty, you talk about the history of this Riverton program. I think the last semi was like 2012.
That no, what Rich said.
See the Morgan Grimm era, 07.
06 and 07. Right? Mm-hmm. Mike Larson, Morgan Grimm. As that 3 goes in and out, it was, I hate to do this, Riverton fans, Somerville at the Horn in 06. 07, they ran into Quincy Lewis and the Knights for his second title at Corner Canyon with Tyler Hawes, Bracken Funk, Zach Sharp, Hamilton, and others. That 3 is off the mark. Rebound to Edwards.
Well,
momentarily.
Isn't there?
It was Cowan came with it. Edwards with the near steal. That's off of Brousseau. He goes back down the floor with Riverton.
Yeah, that rebound looked like WWE. There was 4 guys on top of each other.
We need someone to cut a promo.
And I was shocked that 23 didn't come down with it. He had it initially and then got taken away from him.
We've just seen the advantage of terrific hand-eye coordination.
We talk about big performances today. 17 in that first half for Cooper.
17 points?
It feels like a quiet 17. No. I would have never guessed 17 for Cooper.
Yeah, I thought he had like 7.
Yeah, for sure. Here's Edwards inside. Man, I thought Cowan was going to get his hand on that. Didn't. And Zach Edwards gets the bucket. 6-point game now. Riverton got it down to 4 a couple of times and unable to hinge it from there. As Allred hits the deck, Cooper Lewis off on the 3 and the rebound. Cleared by Riker Carricks.
Cooper was 2 for 6 from long range in that first half. Missed 1. Does he miss 2 second half?
I think it's
just the 1.
I think just the 1. As that ball was behind Johnson. Drop it into Edwards, back to Johnson, and Johnson lays it in, and it's now a 4-point game.
Told you they're tactical, coach.
Yeah, they run their stuff, and if, like we said, if they'll just, calm down a little bit, they're effective in what they do. Do their job on that team.
Nice find Brousseau on the backside of Cowan, can't get it. Rebounds out in the hands of Hawkins, who hits. Timeout, Quincy Lewis. It's a 30-second timeout brought to you by Utah Facial Plastics.
Great. She is a great lady.
She is. She's a lot of fun. Her son is on the floor. Brian, husband and assistant coach with Quincy Lewis.
I think Bryson got all the fight from his mom. Reed doesn't have any fight in him at all.
As here comes Hawkins, stolen from behind. There's Allred. Allred got numbers now. And exit pattern with Brousseau coming out for him.
Smart decision there.
Yeah. Inside now to Edwards. Zach in. That looked like Morgan Grimm. He's sitting shoulder shrug on his way back down the floor.
And I love they didn't force that, right? Would have been so tempting. You're right, they had numbers, but Lehi had that pretty well covered. Good decision to be patient there on the possession.
They do a good job with that. Very rarely do they force stuff.
Cooper pulls up and hits.
You want to talk about making tough shots, huh?
That shot is really, really difficult.
Coach, I mean, you're benching a player after a shot like that, right? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Cooper hits it.
Guys, honestly, when he shoots those shots when we're playing them, I go, great, I'm glad he took that shot. And then it goes in. I go, I can't believe he just made another one. He makes them consistently.
He does. As Edwards, don't get bit. No. I don't like that. I don't like it. Let's take a look at that last Cooper Lewis made shot, because I don't want to relive that call.
That's unreal.
That's what I talk about.
That's unreal.
His shot reminds me of Ray Allen.
By the way, he's listed at 6'2". So don't let anyone tell you that you're not tall enough.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. Oh, it looks like they might have got a tee as well.
I don't know if that was on Skylar Wilson, but that was a bad call. And here's the hard part. And we usually don't get this aggressive. I've been this aggressive after officials for years. You can't get baited into this. You can't get baited into that call. He's waiting for it, begging for it, and you just totally got baited when Edwards barely touches him. And I don't know. I don't like it.
Well, I thought he ran up underneath him even. He didn't even really give him a chance to take his space that he had. Yeah, that's tough. And then I don't know what happened on the tee, but that's a big deal. These games are decided by a few plays here and there at times.
Just had all this momentum build up. Got back to 2 possessions.
Cowan backside to Hawkins, and then they get the and one on this end.
And here comes the Avalanche. It's not just Cooper. This is great recognition. You see that baseline cut, no one on that backside. Help is late.
Help is late, makes contact.
Yeah, that's a good look by Coop.
Henninger comes back in along with Ben Barris.
Just like that is the 10-point difference.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a 4-point game 40 seconds ago.
With the ball.
Yeah.
Riverton had the ball.
Now 1 free throw.
You know, I always tell people when they get upset about officiating, it all works out in the wash, and it usually does. But you see the momentum of a call, right there.
That can be such a big deal. Yeah, that was literally a 7-point possession.
They chop that ball inside to Barris. He sends it back out to Everett. Oh, nice hands by Bromley. Bromley got the loose ball. Bromley leaves it for Cowan. Blocked away by Barris, and they'll get him with a foul.
You know, that's what I love about Bryson Bromley, is he could have easily shot that layup. He made the steal, and then he dropped it to a teammate. He just made a great basketball play. He gets his teammate involved, gets his team pumped up, and it's never about Bryson. It's always about winning.
Time on the floor. It's Utah Facial Plastics timeout. Welcome back in. There's a free throw from Cowan is good. You want to re-ask the question, Dane?
Yeah, let's re-ask it. We got our trivia question. Lehi won the first state championship all the way back in 1908. Who won the second? Let us know. It is up on social media. You see our handle down at the bottom right there. Let us know who won the second state championship in state history, and we will send you a free gift card to Handel's Ice Cream. We'll get a little sweet treat.
A $10 gift card, no less. As they try to lob that in to Henninger and get the foul on Cowan, it's going to reset the shot clock.
I think that's Lehi's first foul of the quarter. It is.
It is. Oh, and the steal on the inbound from Cooper Lewis. Quickly ahead to Hawkins. And that high bump at the end, and the ball will go back to Riverton. And normally I would, years gone by, I would say, wait, this is going to even up really, really quickly. I've had that conversation a lot this year. Yeah. If you listen to a lot of our games over the years, I usually say that was 7-2, team fouls in the half. And
yeah.
So what happens when you reset, Dusty? You don't have the cheat sheet anymore.
It's calmed me down. It's absolutely calmed me down.
It's been good.
Drop it into Henninger, and he gets the jump hook over the top of Moore, and it's now a 10-point ball game.
Henninger's listed at 7 feet, and I would guess he's very close to it. I've seen him dive on the floor twice at 7 feet tall. I give that kid a lot of credit for how hard he plays.
Corner three, no from Hawkins. Rebound and set back out. Cooper Lewis long on the three, and the rebound to Henninger.
I don't know. Lehi makes a little push, or if Riverton can make a push here, these last 90 seconds, get down to maybe 6.
Yeah.
And Everett going to draw the foul as the clip of fouls is picked up here in the third quarter, and going to be 2 free throws coming to Evan Barrett as he was in his habitual shooting motion.
For those of you who missed it, in the corner game, we had Coach McAllister join us, asked him some good questions. Coach, we're going to ask you, what was it like to coach against Randy McAllister?
Okay, first and foremost, Coach McAllister is one of the best people I know. He's just a good man. He's kind. He treats his guys. I've never heard a player, his or any of the guys that our guys are friends with his guys, say bad word about Coach McAllister. They appreciate him, the way he treats them, and the way that, you know, he treats them like men. As far as coaching against him, he's extremely smart. Wow.
What a take and finish there by Cooper Lewis.
That was a nice move right there and finish. And Barrett, did he miss both those down there?
Did.
Darn. Yeah, had a chance to get back in it. But Coach McAllister, he runs really good stuff. And what he did this year was really, really interesting. He installed an offense that I haven't ever seen him run before. And they were hard, really hard to guard without a ton of size on that team. And you had to prepare for them differently than everybody else you played. And he did a great job with that. Coach McAllister is going to be missed. He's a legend in my mind. He's done a great job with Utah basketball.
Absolutely.
And at Pleasant Grove.
Absolutely. There's a misses, send it back out. Hawkins will pull for three, a little long. Tipped out, now taken by Cowan. Back up and off the window. They now starting to distance themselves. 15-point lead for the Pioneers inside of a minute left in the third quarter.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes ago was a 4-point game. Lehi's gone on a run. Big one.
Everett down the lane. Oh, nice find inside to Edwards. Reverses, no. Loose ball. Taken by Cooper Lewis. He's got Cowan, gives it up to him. Cowan with the flush.
This Lehi roster may not be the tallest roster you see, but all 5 guys can get above the rim. They are a high-flying group.
Yeah, they're not super tall, you're right, but are you saying Bryson's above the rim?
Remember, his mom's
Maybe
giving away
not.
cookies.
But hey, yes, they all can get above the rim. No, I'm just saying, like that last possession you had, I think it was Cooper Lewis who was up in the air. So they can all leap.
Dane, I completely agree. And what I was going to say is, Bryson, obviously, he's not.
Second, here's Hawkins with one. Oh, count it goes. No, they say wave it off. Let it run for a second, and I'll go back. Let's take a look. Officials.
Quincy's asking for an appeal. Hey, can we review that? Someone.
Red flag.
Let's take a look here. You'll have the backboard light up as the ball in his hand.
I think it is.
So
it's close.
They're saying no bucket, and that'll do it for the third quarter. We go to the fourth quarter. It is all Lehi. 52-35, Pioneers lead the Riverton Silverwolves. You're watching 2024 6A state tournament. Start of the fourth quarter, Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach Rob Ross with you on the beautiful February 26th. But this that third quarter, we hate going back, but the turning point in this game was that charge on Edwards that then led to the technical foul. It led to points because it was a 4-point game, and Lehi has just absolutely dominated since then as Brousseau is fouled. Count the bucket, put him at the line.
Back to your point, Dane, where you're saying all these guys get up above the rim. Lehi, they don't have, they're not, 6'9", 6'10", but their guys are all somewhere between 6'3" and 6'6", 6'7". They're long. They're long.
Well, if you want to see long, join us for our next game because we got Harriman coming up.
Yeah.
They got some size.
Yeah. And talent. They're a talented team as well.
Ball tipped around, taken away nearly by Hawkins. Sent it back out. 3 on the way and short. And the rebound tracked down by Allred. Back inside to Edwards. Zach sends out. 3. No from Barris. And now picked up on the run out. Hawkins will pull for 3. And Edwards claims the rebound. That one doesn't go. And quickly again, Cooper to Brousseau, who lays it up and in.
It'd be interesting to know the statistics from shooting in a normal high school gym versus when they come to the big arena, how that 3-point shooting percentage changes, if it does at all. it seems like it goes down.
Well, for Leighton, it got better.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that's true. It
And they play in the smallest gym left in the state.
Yeah, you're right. It did. Leighton was hot as could be
That
today.
was something else. 56% in that first half from long range.
Wow.
And the timeout, Zach Edwards gets that one to go. Full timeout. 6.5 left in the fourth quarter. Let's stay here. We can ask some more questions of Coach Ross. Go ahead, Dane.
Do you want to?
Oh, yeah, reveal the trivia.
Yeah, so we did have someone get it right. It's a little bit of a trick question. Lehi won the first state championship in 1908. Who won the second? Lehi.
Lehi. It's in the gym. I actually thought about that, yeah.
Yeah. Rob Gertson got that one, but he is not eligible for the gift card because he got one yesterday. So he said, donate it to our guy here. So Rob Ross, you're walking away with a gift card.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. I'll put that to good use.
Absolutely. Try the Buckeye. It's my favorite one.
Okay, I will.
It's the only time you'll ever hear me say anything nice about Buckeyes, Ohio State, or anything else. But
Are you a Wolverine fan?
I am not. I can't stand the Ohio State University. We have some Utah kids that go there, and I'll cheer for them. But other than that, I mean, you're not going to find a nice thing from me. Cool town. But, Coach, I mean, this is – talking about that, you get in the state tournament. You've been in a lot of state tournaments. 20-point lead. One, if you're Quincy, what's he focusing on to close out this game? Because you kind of – is it a thought of like, hey, we don't want to end on a low here. We got to keep playing our game to keep momentum going into the semifinal.
Yeah, knowing Quincy like I do, I think he's probably saying a couple things. I think he's saying do not let up defensively. In fact, increase your pressure and intensity defensively, and then execute on offense. Don't get sloppy. Continue to execute.
So I was going to say, I mean, they've got a 20-point lead, but this has not been a game that I think they say, guys, we executed so well, right?
No.
There's a lot of opportunity that I think Lehi's would probably love to have back in this one.
I want to bring this up to Quincy, and maybe I will if I get to see him after. As Bromley pulls, back rims the three, tipped back up, no. Edwards fighting for that rebound. Hawkins gets the board, and then fouled by Edwards. That'd be number 3 on Zach Edwards, I believe, 2 or 3.
They're pretty relentless on the boards, Lehi is.
Well, there's been plenty of people in the state who have said, hey, get Lehi away from their home gym and let's see what happens. And they don't have the number of fouls down there yet. And, of course, the state tournament's going to happen because you can't play every game at home. But I've been very interested to see how they would play in this larger arena. I think you're right. I think the D Event Center, we haven't seen the shooting go down that much at the D Event Center. And it actually has a longer portal on the one end, too. But Utah seems to go down. BYU, it was low. We did that one championship game at BYU, the championship day. Corner Canyon was stone cold.
I remember that.
There's Bromley with the steal. And I don't think it has anything to do with the vastness there. I think it was the first time in that building as Cooper misses on the 3. You were with Frank Jackson once where he scored 50 at the Marriott Center against America Forge.
Yeah, right.
I did that game.
Yeah, Frank, he was different. He could get going for sure.
And Hawkins.
Yeah, Lehi, I don't know their 3-point percentage for the night, but I'm guessing it's not
as
not
high
as normal. Yeah.
I mean, it was 29% at the half.
Yeah, and I don't think it's been a ton better in the second half. That's what's scary about them because they will get it going.
Well, that was pretty from Zach Edwards.
Caught Edwards by surprise.
Pretty finish by Zach. So I mentioned a 4-year player will be a 4-year player in baseball. I said I had in my head that he was a junior when they won the state title with Coach Applegate. His first state championship. And it was Riverton's first state championship in baseball. And they came back down 2-0 against American Fork, and Zach had a grand slam home run in game 3.
Wow.
He was 0 for at the time at the plate. Hit an absolute rocket out of UCCU ballpark as that ball lobbed out of bounds. There's certain things we get to call, Coach, I absolutely love. And I love doing football. I love basketball. Baseball state championships. I'm a baseball coach. I freaking love that tournament. It is so much fun.
That's special to be able to announce that and
just
be there.
If you grew up watching sports, you grew up listening to baseball, and it's fun to be like a voice that called baseball. And you have a game like that, you have memories like a grand slam. And I mean, Dane loves calling lacrosse. That's a specialty sport. It's amazing. And Dane's really good at that. So I let him take that one. And we have other guys. Alex Napolis, thank goodness, saved me. We give him soccer, let him do it. That baseball state tournament is fun.
So it was just last year that they won it?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, okay.
Yeah, year before last, because American Fork came back and won last year.
Oh, that's
against
right.
Skyridge.
That's right.
And Coach Ryan Roberts won the good ones, and Coach Yeah, there's a lot of good coaches. This Coach Ingersoll at American Fork is an absolute legend.
Yeah.
Eric Madsen took over Lehi. That Lehi program back this year. Now in 6A. They were the 5A champion, lost last year in the title. Now they'll come into 6A. And Coach Eric Madsen, the longtime head coach at UVU, is now the head coach at Lehi.
Oh, wow.
Let's Coach Ingersoll's younger brother turned the keys over to Coach Madsen. And Eric now going to be coaching his boys.
That'll be fun.
So,
I was talking to the parent of one of the Riverton kids the other night, and he was telling me a little bit about the Edwards as a baseball player, and he said he's just one of those kids where you say they're just different. He's like that in baseball. He just says he's that good.
It's so good. That's why I was so mad that I actually thought he was his brother, and I was like, wait, and when you said, no, I think he's going to Oregon, no, I was wrong, and so make sure we corrected that. Inside the lane, a little floater goes for Riker Carricks. Oh, they go Karikas. So Karikas with the floater in the 17-point game. But we get ready for spring comes up at the end of our basketball coverage. As Cooper back rims that shot. And now Karikas comes away with the loose ball.
Yeah, you guys don't get much of a break, do you, after basketball? You're right back at it.
We take 2 weeks.
We take a couple of weeks. Dan gets into lacrosse. Dan's already into lacrosse season here at the U. And then Dan gets in lacrosse, and I'll figure out baseball. It is so cold.
You know what can help you in winter part 2? Your igloo.
It teed you up.
Bam.
That's a Lone Peak family that runs that company.
Do you know what an igloo is, Coach?
I know what an igloo is, but I don't know who runs that company.
Well, it's
Christy Hodson.
It's wearable gold is what it is. You got to be outside in lacrosse or
I
soccer
didn't know.
or anything.
Then I didn't know
or
that.
football. Yeah. You want an igloo.
It's amazing.
Oh, okay.
It's a wearable sleeping bag. It's going to keep you nice and warm.
No,
on
so I did not know that.
Afternoons, evenings.
That's a different kind of igloo than I know.
IGLU, iglooutfitters.com.
Attaboy, Dane. The Christy Hodson, mom there at Lone Peak.
I got to get myself one of those. It sounds like that'd be a good thing to watch grandkids play sports in.
Yeah, use the code REWIND. Yes. Use the code REWIND, get $20 off of your igloo.
I'm not going to lie, Coach. I was skeptical.
Really?
And then I wore it, and I was like, oh, yeah.
You're a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Got us through the football semifinals, too, as Cooper on the drive and the finish. But, yeah, we're going to get ready to go to baseball and lacrosse and soccer. You'll want to stay warm in the second winter, as Dane calls it here in the state of Utah. They didn't reset the shot clock, so we're going to put it at like probably 32 seconds. But, yeah, we keep rolling on here at Rewind. It doesn't stop. Alex DePolis, I don't know if I'll be able to get him back. He was put on assignment by KSL Sports this last week. He got you to meet close to Lionel Messi. And this kid's a big soccer guy.
Really?
Yeah, for that RSL match. Yeah.
He was that close.
He was that close
to the greatest ever.
I said, "How was your heart like?" He's like, "I was fanboying really bad." He's like, I don't blame him either. You see him get off the bus. He walked right by him. I was like,
that is neat that he came to Salt Lake City.
Well, no, he went to Miami.
Oh, it was in Miami?
Yeah, it was in Miami. It was the Inter Miami versus RSL game. I was in there. I asked him, like, "You didn't go see David Beckham?" Like, what are we doing? He owns the team. He's there. He's on the sideline.
Or Victoria.
Yeah, or Posh. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, a little plug. Go watch that the documentary on Netflix.
That was interesting.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. He went through some hard times.
Well, the first one wasn't even his fault. You kind of watched that. I was like, oh, it's kind of crazy. He's on the drive. Does not go for Evan Barrett. Again, this game was a 4-point game. We had a charge call, a technical foul, and it flipped. And it flipped quick. As Bromley sends that one out for 3 and more. Nearly got the friendly roll. Tipped back up and no from Cowan. And the rebound to Edwards. Come off the screen. Barrett had nowhere to go. And Cowan got around Zach Edwards, but we're going to have a foul.
Well, I don't know who will win the next game, but whoever does should be a really good matchup because Lehi, they do what they do and they do it really well.
Well, if they played Davis, I saw that game at Davis. They held Cooper pretty well in that one as he knocks that one out of bounds. He was 0 of 6 from 3 in that game. I think it was the only game this year he didn't hit a 3. But it was Bromley had a huge night. in that game. I think Bromley hit 7 threes that evening at Davis.
Yeah, I think he did. And then he followed it up with 6 against Jordan the next game.
He gets it. He got it rolling as throws it away right to Bromley. And you start thinking about here in the final 3 minutes, the seniors at Riverton and the work they've been able to put in with Coach Skylar Wilson and their final moments playing Riverton basketball, and many of them playing basketball in general, organized-wise. As not everyone can move on and go play college ball.
Yeah, Riverton's had a really good year. They've beaten a lot of teams this year. Their record is they've had a lot of success this year, and those seniors are a big part of that. They should be proud of what they've done. They've worked very, very hard.
As Lewis draws the foul, we'll put Cooper at the line.
Well, it feels like it's been a while since we've seen Riverton to the site, right? Yep. So getting back to the Huntsman Center, good on them.
The other night after that game was over, when we were playing Riverton, there was a lot of excitement in the gym, and the coach was over hugging his guys and went over to shake his hand, and he just said, "Coach," he goes, "it's been a while since we've been able to go to the tournament and go to the quarters," and he goes, "We're just super excited." And so they were excited about that. And I know he came in here expecting to win this game as well, but there was excitement about that advancing.
Well, I didn't want to tell you the week going into that game that there's not a lot of good Muju with Lone Peak at Riverton. I didn't want to carry that over because you remember Frank scored 54 points in that gym in a loss.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I know it.
And sadly, I call a lot of these games, so I remember that one too.
Jesse, I think that might have been your fault. How do you bring up a bad memory?
And that was when we were just choosing games. I'm like, I want this one. This is going to be
Yeah, that's true. That was a while ago when we were in the same region.
The David's first season.
Then I think the game after that, Nate Harkness went for 8 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And, he led us to victory, I think, the year after that. But
2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter as Hawkins spins that one back out. Bromley can hold on to that one. Try to get that into Brousseau. Yeah, Grayson was out of bounds. And the ball will go back to the Silverwolves. Again, their upcoming game is Harriman versus Davis. Coach Doug Meacham, first time back in the big classification after going down to Snow Canyon, winning the state championship. Comes back to take over at Harriman, and he's got him at the site. Deep three doesn't go, and Coach Chad Sims, after a year, he did not make it to the site last year. He was sitting here with us last year. Now he gets back to the site.
Coach Sims?
Yeah.
No, we played him in the quarters. Davis?
Oh, it was last year, Davis. We got him to come do after that. I was thinking he came and did a game with us last year.
Yeah, we played him in the quarterfinals last year.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
At 9:30 a.m., I'll never forget it.
Well, it's because I always say I don't talk to guys after they lose, but I think Chad, I was like, hey, come on.
He came?
He did. He did a great job, too.
He's another good guy.
There's a quick timeout from Chris Lewis. We'll take a quick one as well. We'll be right back. You're watching the 6A state tournament. Minute and a half left in the fourth quarter. Let's ask that question on air and let Dane answer that question. Coach has dropped that one in to Boris. Now gets it in to Henninger. And Christian Henninger can't get that one to go. And that shot won't go for, we don't have a 34. I apologize. I say that's Lincoln Carver, but we don't have a 34 in the roster. Come back the other end. That three is there for Ashton Schul. And I've been told that is the future of Lehi basketball right there is Ashton Schul.
Whoever told you that knows their basketball. That young man is going to be a player. He's a freshman, and he is a very good basketball player. You guys probably know this. He's Sean Bradley's nephew. It's Sean Bradley's sister's son.
Oh, they got out of Emory County. Good for them. Now I can cheer for him.
Thank you, Coach. It's good to have someone reaffirm my knowledge of the game. So I'm just teasing. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
There were some Schuls that were still in Emory County when I was growing up, and they were very good basketball players too.
Were they?
Yeah, and in fact, it could be his son. That's how old I am now.
Yeah, that kid's a very good basketball player.
He played for Todd Jeffs at Emory High. Although I will say, I can't stand Emory High School, but I always went to Todd Jeffs basketball camps when I was a kid. Mainly because Sean Bradley came the last day and put on a show.
Sean was so fun to watch.
He was. Bought a lot of pizzas from my grandmother who lived in Castledale. Got to meet Sean a lot. Send that ball to the corner. Cy Hansen pulling on the three. Couldn't get it. Tipped back up and in by Schul. It's got to be his son. My gosh, I don't find out who his dad is. And that's a 24-point lead now for Lehi. As that three is good for Evan Barrett, the junior. He'll be back next year. There's 10 seconds left. And the Lehi Pioneers and Quincy Lewis's first game at the site, or a site, since 2015. It is Lehi Pioneers are going to the state semifinals.
Dane and Dusty, thank you guys so much for all you guys do for high school basketball. We sure appreciate it at Lone Peak, and I'm sure all the other coaches do as well. So thank you guys.
Well, we appreciate you, Coach. We appreciate all the stuff we do at Lone Peak. Dane, some thoughts and selection of a player of the game?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Riverton did a great job hanging in this for 2.5 quarters, and that moment in the third was obviously critical. It was huge, changed the game, and I don't know that Riverton wins this game without that moment, right? I think Lehi probably showed they were the better team, but, you know, it certainly didn't help in terms of Riverton staying close. Player of the game, for me, I'd probably go with Cooper. I mean, he had the 17 at the half. It was a quiet 17. I don't know that we saw like the Cooper, boom, here's Cooper Lewis, but right. I'm sure he probably got near 30 today.
I bet he did. I can't wait to see the last ones come in. Coach, some quick thoughts from you before we send it down to Kenzie. She's waiting for Cooper Lewis.
Yeah, just congratulations to Riverton, and it'll be fun to watch Lehi progress throughout the tournament. They're a very good basketball team.
And I probably misspoke and said that it's the first time Quincy's at the site since he left Lone Peak, because he did win state championship at Lehi. But that year is really weird to try to remember that in Quincy's first year. But big win for Lehi. Going to look to get back to the state championship game for the second time under Coach Quincy Lewis, as Cooper may have slipped past Kinsey. I think he did. So that'll do it. But, Coach, thank you for joining us. An absolute pleasure to have you with us today. And look forward to more years.
Thanks, Dusty. Thanks, Dane.
Certainly appreciate you. For Dane Stewart, Rob Ross, for Austin Bigelow, Bauer Anderson, and Vince Francis. That's that guy. Vince Francis. I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and for watching KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the 2024 6A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships, as always, presented by Heinemann & Associates. And our tournament coverage brought to you by NutriCost. Use the code UtahMay to get 30% off.